Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Liverpool Connection podcast. I am your host, Daz, and I've got Steve, my co-host, with me, and we've got Paul Tremarco from the Famous Arkles Pub on Anfield Road in Liverpool. How are you, Paul?
I feel absolutely fantastic now. After Thursday night, a little bit word for word. For having a bottle of champagne last night. I celebrated last night, being the weekend, and I feel actually over the moon. And you know what? Isn't it a great time to be a Liverpool supporter?
It is, mate. It is. I'm still pinching myself. I think I have to wait till we lift the cup to really, and especially with how things are going on with the pandemic. Yeah. I watched the City game with me 4 daughters, and they looked at me like, "Why is Daddy crying?" But I was like, tears of joys, kid, and they still were like, "Okay," So it's like celebrating without me mates and everything was just this whole pandemic took kind of the gloss off it. We're still gonna party someday. That and I'm sure you didn't go out with the masses on Thursday night. I wouldn't think, right?
Stayed home. No, I stayed at home.
Yeah, good lads.
I didn't go out with them, obviously for social distancing reasons. If I'd been in the pub, I probably would have joined them. My brother Jared, he joined them, and my son Paul, they went, and my nephew went, but no, I didn't go. Some of the sites were fantastic. And you know what? I don't know. It was peaceful. They were having a great time around the ground. Mm-hmm. And, don't believe everything you see in the press.
Of course not.
But what I say, people were having a great time. They weren't social distancing. And, that was wrong. But you can't help them. We've been so close. At the end of the day, you know what? The Premier League, the league never tells lies. And one thing I will say, there's so many different cliches out there. The team that loses the least games in the Premier League always wins the Premier League. Well, we did that last season, and we didn't win the Premier League. Mm-hmm. The team that gets over 90 points always wins the Premier League. Well, we did that, and we never won it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The team that's top at Christmas, 99% of the time wins the league. We didn't. The team that's top at Easter always wins the league. We never. And this time, when we drew with Everton, when we should have, we were flat. It was a really poor game. Obviously, no fans cheering them on and firing us up. This season really means a lot. But to miss that and not have the enjoyment of going to the ground and being there and witnessing it, it's quite hollow. Mm-hmm. And as a ardent fan, and the proud worker manager of a pub right outside the ground, to celebrate with all my friends and all my customers who are who come in all the time. That's part and parcel of my job. That's what I love doing. I really, really enjoy it. That's, it's not okay. They pay me, but if they didn't pay me that much, I wouldn't be too bothered because I just love being by the ground, going the match, and I go season ticket holder, never miss. But it was just hollow, and there's something missing. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. It's just, we've done it. The monkey's off our back. And let's move on to next season. And hopefully, I've just been watching City on the telly now, merging Newcastle. Yeah. But, out completely and utterly, they are a great side, Manchester City. And it was to beat them and, beat anything that they've done and beat us, that says something for me. But I still say they're cast on certainties for that Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I think so for them.
Yeah, I think so as well, because I think we talked about it last night as well, with City not having, like, they won't be doing like the away match, with away fans. It's going to be probably the knockout little tournament.
Yeah.
I think City will do it. I do.
I don't think any team would beat them in the Champions League. I think the only team that could have beaten them and would have beaten them was us.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
And we should have been, because if all in all, there's no way Atletico Madrid would have beaten us if we'd have had Alisson in goal.
Nah, no chance.
They wouldn't have even come close to it.
Well,
buried.
I think the problem that night, obviously when Bobby scored, like, we were all over him, and then Adrian just had a fart, brain fart. I think he got caught up in the match. He had the cop behind him, just going at it, and I think he just lost it. Just like
we were dead. We were almost right. They would never. But you know what? I say this: if someone had said to me, right, 3 years ago, well, don't worry about it. You're going to get to a Champions League final and get beat by Real Madrid. The goalkeeper's going to give them 2 goals, right? And I don't believe if we'd have had someone like, even if we'd have had Millionaire in goal, I think we would have had a good chance against them.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have got to extra time, right? And then we're going to win the Champions League, which we never thought we would. After playing Napoli in the last game at home, and I walked out when we won 1-0. I thought that wasn't it. I thought we needed to win 2-0. But when I went out and the game finished, and I heard Steve McManaman said, "That's Liverpool through." I went, "Wow." And we went on, because you have them lucky breaks. And you know what? Who's to say now than say, right, I say, no, we'll leave over that. But talking about that, then we win in the Champions League in Madrid. And then, and also coming like second, 96 points or 97 points, whatever it may have been. And then the following season, winning the league by so many points.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have settled for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? That would, I would think that'll do me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's about going on now and going on. We've got to strengthen the squad. I don't know whether he sells a couple of players. He's going to get rid of Lallana, so he's going to have to be replaced. He's going to get rid of Adrian, so he needs another goalkeeper. And maybe he needs another striker,
mm-hmm.
and obviously another midfielder, please, and a another centre half,
and left back as well.
Yeah, a left back too.
Yeah,
because we don't have to worry about the right back. Because that Nico Williams.
Oh man, he's quality.
He's quality.
And I actually think Curtis Jones can fill Lallana's spot, to be honest.
Well, I hope so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope so. I'll be honest with you. I thought I think Lallana's a good Championship player. He gets the ball, he slows it down. Mm-hmm. He gets the ball, he turns back. And in the Premier League, when you pull the ball back, you drag it back. That extra second, the game's passed you by.
Yeah.
So, he always used, and he's done that from the time that we signed him. Don't get me wrong, he had a great season. And probably no one knows the extent of the injury he got playing at England. Because to be out for nearly a whole season, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I like Adam a lot. I liked Adam. You know what I mean? I liked them. It's not that I ever didn't like Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a great signing. But them sort of players now are not the sort of caliber of the squad players that we need. Look at City's bench.
Yeah, I know. It's
for the season, and who's this? Or Jesus, he's in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what when we interviewed George Sefton, he said the same thing. He goes, our sub bench is just, for a top team, it's not good enough. And I agree. Even Origi for me. Yeah, he scored. Yeah, he's all right. That's what I mean. He's all right. He's not great, and he scored some fantastic goals. Don't get me wrong, and I'd love to have a statue of him, especially right outside of Goodison. Would be brilliant. But I don't think he's the right player to like move us forward. The Shaqiri, he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
So what are you left with? You're left with a couple of youngsters on the bench, and a few midfielders like Keita and stuff. So yeah, we need to strengthen. Like, I mean, I want to see us, go for the Prem again. I want to see us go for the FA Cup because we haven't won it in a long time. I want to see us challenge again for the Champions League Cup. I could really care less about. I mean, that's just. I think. Do what?
There's rumours saying that it may be cancelled next season.
I think it should be, or
I think it should be. I think it should be. Do you know what?
Championship.
For the championship teams to play in. I think it should be for them. And you know what? And maybe and obviously with a winning, and if you win it, you get a chance to go enter the Europa League. Further down the list. That you with the Scottish teams and all that. So you've got a chance of like getting like a few European games before you get knocked out.
Yeah, and some extra money. So
yeah.
No, I'd agree with you because I'm hearing like the top, maybe it's the top 7 teams in the Prem that won't be allowed in the competition. So in the League Cup, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, probably wrong, but I think they should. I think they should just do away with it.
Yeah, or the bottom half of the Premier League, the middle, the bottom 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would say the teams that we were fighting, but it is a chance. It then does give a chance for the lower sides to get a day out at Wembley, doesn't it?
Yeah, and maybe win a trophy. So
I'd like to see us in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I would as well.
I've been watching Chelsea and watching Man United, and them two managers are just quietly building nice little young squads.
Yeah.
I can see Chelsea, and he's just through bought Werner, which another one he pinched off us, like he pinched off Pulisic, and he pinched off what was his name, Williams.
Well, Salah as well. Remember
who?
They pinched Salah off of us. We were about to go get him, and then Jose bought him just to piss us off.
That's right. And that's why he bought him.
Yeah.
That's why they bought him just to piss us off.
Yeah.
Stop us from buying.
Oh, Jose, you prick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, Paul. Chelsea's like front line next season. It's going to be really good. I mean, they just bought that? Is it Ziyech as well?
Ziyech
from Ajax.
Internationally.
Yeah, he looks good. So and their average age is probably going to be about 21, 22 as well. So
but United, we're quietly building a team. How did we miss Fernandes? How did anyone miss him?
Well, we all talked about it, didn't we, Steve?
Yeah,
we did. We mentioned him quite a few times, especially after we saw him in Boston this summer, how he played. So yeah, he was definitely on the radar for a lot of people. Hey, Paul, I want to ask you something. If you remember, you and we met each other 5 years ago back in May of 2015. And that was I was in town and they were celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Istanbul. So it's a festive atmosphere that weekend in town. And then the next day, Stoke beats Liverpool 6-1.
Whoa.
Depressing. And I could not fathom how Brendan Rodgers kept his job over the summer. Fast forward to October, I come back to visit you. That's Klopp's very first home game. And the whole atmosphere in the city had changed. You could just feel it. Can you kind of take us back to when Klopp first signed and how it really galvanized the city and what he really, especially now, what he means to the city of Liverpool?
See what it was. He came. When he came, it was like a breath of fresh air. He was a German manager. He was funny. He was well respected. He saw what the people wanted, and he got what the people wanted, and he needed, and he knew what the club needed, and he did turn around and say, you know, we will bring the championship within 4 years, you know, but give me time. You know, it won't happen overnight. Give me time to build the team. Give me a time to get us to the final. Of course, we were in the League Cup. We played Seville, and he was that year we got to the final of the League Cup, and he had no players. Apart from the left back who used to play for Seville, Moreno, who give them a penalty and two goals. That's another game that we should never have lost. Mm-hmm. I sat in that game and I thought, when it was 1-0, I thought, we'll murder these there. You know, and next minute I'm sitting down, they've scored before we've even sat down at half time. But he brought a lot of. He's got this personality. People like to be around him, and he can make. You know, I had this conversation with a mate of mine who works for the Premier League TV, and he said to me, I said, what do you think? He said, is he a lucky guy, or is he a very intelligent man, or is he just a brilliant coach? He said, he's a brilliant coach. He's a brilliant man manager. He knows what people want, and he knows how to get the people behind him. And the people adore him. But if you noticed, everyone likes him. Mm-hmm. He's a very nice, no fans hate him. All the fans like him. United fans like him. The Everton fans like him. Because he's not disrespectful to anyone. And that's, as a man, you know, shows you, you know, you see now what sort of a man he was when he was getting interviewed when we won the league. This is too emotional for me. And he went over to Kenny Dalglish, and they linked onto Kenny. He said, Kenny said, and he gets it. He gets what Kenny's about. He gets about what the fans want. He knows how passionate he is. He's a passionate scouser himself. And as he said, I'm the normal one. And he is a normal one. But he makes you believe. And I remember honestly, there was a German film crew in before the Champions League final. Just after the Madrid match, or before one of them. And I turned around and he said, what do you think of Jürgen? I said, I think he's absolutely amazing. He's great. He's got the whole place going. But you know what? Jürgen has to deliver. He hasn't delivered anything yet. He's promised us. We've been beaten in 2 finals, or 3 finals. We've just been beaten by City. Yeah. It was 3 finals. We can't lose another one. You know, the League Cup, the Seville, Manchester City, Chelsea. Then we go to play against Madrid, and we get beat by, you know, which was you couldn't write it down, could you? The way we lost in that game, giving 2 goals away, you know, having an assassin, you know, an assassin who knocked our goalie out, right? Knocked our goalie out. Shouldn't VAR, he wouldn't have been on the pitch.
No chance.
And I still say that's what he did. He knew he was a young man, and he didn't have get him that Ramos.
Ramos, yeah.
And then he done the other fellow's shoulder. Because if he wouldn't have gone, they wouldn't have got anywhere near us. Because that same season, if you understand, Steve, if you watch them playing Tottenham, the difference between the Premier League and the Premier League is they play at about a 70-mile-an-hour pace, whereas the Premier League's a 100-mile-an-hour pace. So if you want to match Liverpool, you've got to do 100 miles an hour. But if you drop Liverpool, or you drop to the 70-mile-an-hour game against Barcelona and Madrid, they'll pass you off the floor. Mm-hmm. Modric takes control, and you are dead in the water. But if you don't, like we did when we played Barcelona last season, and he beat us 3-0, I turned around and said, you know what? We will beat them. We will puff. I thought we'd win 5-1. We will beat them. If they score 1, we'll score 5. Because you know what? Take Messi out of that team and take Suarez out the team. They're just like Leicester. And that's all they were. We should have scored three times over there, right? That one from Salah where he hit the post, you know, that would have been, the game would have been over. And we got it. And once we scored, they folded. They absolutely folded as a team. And we were away. I never thought, you know, I really did think we'd win it. I know a lot of people said they didn't think we would. But I thought we would, because I thought we are the best team in the world and we are better than them. And it proved that we were. You know, and of course, the final itself, you know, when we went to Madrid, and by the way, it was the first final I've since 1973, 74 that I haven't been to. It's the first final I didn't go. My first granddaughter was getting christened on that same day, so as a sign of, you know, show respect, I had to be there. So I didn't go. I gave a ticket to me fiance's son-in-law. None of us went, and you know, and it was so strange because the pub was absolutely rocking. There was people from all over the world in the pub. I mean, literally wall-to-wall people, right, from all over the world. And this was at 2:00 in the afternoon. And of course, I don't know, because I've never seen Liverpool play in a final, right, on the television in my own pub since I've been in this job. Never, because I've always been there. And it was so strange. And I had a banner rolls out because I knew we weren't going to Madrid to lose. We were not going to lose. Now, I will say the penalty helped us. The penalty killed the game, really, because then they were chasing it. If we'd not scored the penalty, we'd have outplayed them and we would have beaten them. I do believe that they would have got an equaliser in the last 70-odd minute. I think they would have beaten us. I think our bottle would have went, or we would have stepped up another gear. But that didn't happen. The result said Liverpool 2, Tottenham 0, European champion.
Yeah. You know, Paul, it's funny you mentioned just the people in the pub from all around the world. You've been such a great host to all of the Americans that come over there to Liverpool, and you've put up our scarves in the Arkles, and you've always been very gracious in hosting anybody that's traveled, and so we appreciate that for sure. But I wanted to kind of get it's kind of one of my favorite questions I seem to ask regularly from people in Liverpool, like how have you seen the transformation of the fan set in the past 20 years, 25 years, where it was just, now you have a bunch of people coming in and being able to travel, you know, getting some tickets and to come watch the game. Because when I remember being there, it seems like there was all sorts of different nationalities that were coming out into Anfield to see the game.
Since the Americans bought us, since FSG bought us, there's been an awful big influence and a massive influence from bringing the American fans over. Obviously, Ken Solomon, he does a brilliant job and does fantastic show. You know what? I've watched that man work, and he doesn't leave a stone unturned. He really, really knows what he's doing. And anybody who's going to see a Liverpool game, don't bother doing it yourself. Go with Ken, because you know what? You'll be guaranteed a great time, because he organises everything and he takes care of everything. And he really is. From pies to the programmes, he's asked me to get Liverpool echoes for people. You know, and I'll be sending them out all this week. But you know, the difference is because my pub used to only be away fans, right? And when I took the pub over, I looked at an opportunity where I could get the travelling fans to make the world famous Arkles their pub to come to. You can go in the park. I know you'll be surrounded by Liverpool fans. Great atmosphere, great pub. You can go in Sam Dodds, or you can go in the Sandon. You can go in the 12th Man, all filled with passionate, lovely, passionate fans, and they're all really, really nice pubs. My pub is classed as the away pub, so it's not classed as a Liverpool pub. But really, well, it wasn't. So that was my job to get it on the map, which is why I wanted to be renamed it the World Famous Arkles, because it is world famous. Everyone knows it, and I had to change that. So I had to change the way So as a host, I made it my job, not just to get the Norwegians and the Scandinavians who come in, who go all the time, and they're the only fans that come, and the Irish fans. It was my job. We lost a lot of Norwegian fans because they go to other places. They want to be, they want to be where the Norwegians go, and they go in their own places, But for me, the Americans took over. So my job's not hard to be a host and to welcome people from America, because when we speak the same language, right, and we support the same team, and it's great for me to. That's been the biggest difference in the last 5 years. The American fans coming in, the Canadians coming over. I've got friends, Mike Humphreys from Toronto. There's other guys. There's another fantastic, a lovely man. I can't remember his name, who comes with one of Ken's groups from Canada, and he's a really nice person. And they bring people with them, and it's something I enjoy doing. I like to mingle with them. I like to make them welcome. I like to let them know that, you know what, this is where you'll see, if we're playing Tottenham, the pub will be full with Tottenham fans, and there'll be loads and loads of Liverpool fans in. That wasn't the case before I came. When I was here 30 years ago, that was the case. It was all away fans and hardly any Liverpool fans. Now it's near enough 50-50, and they're all mixing and having a great time together. No animosity, no fighting, no arguing. They get the banter with the songs and everything else.
Yeah, the last time I was there at your pub, it was the Villarreal was playing Liverpool. I remember going to your pub afterwards, and a lot of Villarreal fans were there, and I was able to speak Spanish to them. So I was like, "Hey, free beers! This guy is helping translate." I was like, "Yeah, right. This is awesome." But you've created that atmosphere that is very welcoming, and obviously that's not the case in a lot of different parts of England, where you can go as an away fan and enjoy a pint and have some good banter before or after a game. So yeah, you've created quite the atmosphere there at the Arkles for sure.
I'd like to say, Steve, that I've created a unique atmosphere in my pub, and I don't think there's a pub in the world that's as unique as mine, that has the diversity of all the fans mixing together and having a good time together. Obviously we don't let the Chelsea fans in anymore because they're so disrespectful.
Yeah.
And if there's Chelsea fans that listen out there, I really don't care. Mm-hmm. But they're not coming in because it's so disrespectful. I won't go into that one. Manchester United, they don't let Manchester United in because of the rivalry. We just don't like each other. The Evertonians don't come in anymore because they go their own pubs. So, but apart from everything else, Tottenham fans are great. The West Ham fans, they're just like they're Southerners, but they're just like Southern Northerners. They're really, really working class people who are exactly the same as us. Very respectful, and Arsenal the same. Villa, we don't get many Fulham. We don't get many of Fulham or Crystal Palace, but we do get some of them coming from there, and they do come in the pub and they do send me emails and say thanks very much for your hospitality. The Southampton fans come in, and I get, and the Newcastle fans, because I look after them. The Newcastle, I've got an affinity with Newcastle. Them two young lads who got killed in the plane crash. That was the same day I was flying to Australia to see Liverpool playing. Well, to see Liverpool play in a pre-season game in Brisbane, and that was the same day that I was flying. And my ex-wife thought the two people were Liverpool fans, and he thought they were me. So I'll never forget them two lads. And I put posters up and for the Newcastle fans every time they come, and I always give them a mention. In fact, on the 30th anniversary of Hillsborough, I was speaking to them, and I got on the mic and I said, listen, it's 30 years since we lost our 96 Euros, but you've got two guys that you lost, and the only crime it was they were going to see your team play in a pre-season friendly in a match that they never came home from. So them lads, and now in Evan, we're on 96 Euros, and he turned around, and next minute, no word of a lie, the whole of the pub and Newcastle fans were singing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Well,
Now, who does that?
right.
And you've got unbelievable. And the two, Liam Sweeney and it's John Alder, they're both, their parents have been to the pub without, when Newcastle were even just on holiday, just to come and say thank you to me. Right? And I thought, that makes it for me, because I'm not doing it to get some sort of halo, to make sure. I'm doing it because I knew where I was that day. And as long as Newcastle are in the Premier League or coming to my pub, whether they're playing Everton or they're playing Liverpool, I will always make a speech about them two lads, and they'll always be remembered. Because, and that's just, because like all 96 lads, they only went to watch a football match and never came home. So it's emotional for that. But I will say this, it has changed since Klopp's come over, because Klopp has seemed to have got everybody in. Yeah. He's got the fans believing that we can win. It was only 3 points. It's only 3 points. Let's move on to the next game. Never mind whether we're going to win the league by record amounts or we're going to not lose a game. It's just another 3 points. Let's move on. Now, we may have scraped it in, but we found a way of winning. And he found a way of winning. Yeah. But he's got to continue that next season. He's only going to do that if he strengthens the squad. Because the others are going to catch up to him.
Hey, I had one more question for you, Paul. I know you had mentioned going to Brisbane, or however you want to say it, but they have some very passionate Liverpool fans there. But remember when you came to San Francisco and we watched the game out in San Francisco, and that was that was a fun time. What was your kind of takeaway from that trip, coming over to the States and watching, Liverpool in the middle of a summer preseason with just a bunch of American fans and some Europeans that traveled over for holidays as well?
It was, for me, I wanted to spend my holidays watching Liverpool in fantastic places. So it's funny because it's the first time Debbie'd ever been to a game. And I said to Deb, come on, Liverpool, we're going to pick up 2 games. And remember being in LA, and it's a massive city, isn't it? And if you don't know your way around the city, if you don't know anywhere, you need to have somebody to help you. So Ken Solomon, he said to me, Paul Tremarco, as you put on your website or whatever, Paul Tremarco, can anybody give him a lift to the ground? He doesn't know anybody. And then Efren, a guy called Efren, he turned up in his car and give us a lift. He went, "You're taken care of now. I'm going to take you to Lucky Baldwin's. We're all going to get a few beers. You're in my tab." And I went, "Oh, you're in my tab. You're the one giving me a lift." And it was brilliant. And we had a great time. And then we went down to that pub in San Francisco where we got on the boat. We got on the coach. You with us, Steve? We got on the coach, and we all got sandwiches, beer. And Deb said to me, "Wow," she said, and they were all singing on the coach, aren't we? Like as if we're going the match. And I thought, this is brilliant. And I'm with people who are asking me, "What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Who do you think?" And you used to expect. I said, "How long have you been supporting them?" Because I've been supporting them 2 years. Been supporting them a year. But I'm passionate about it. Because I remember going to first time I went to America State, and that was in New Jersey in 1982. And I'll tell you what was on the I think it was Spain '82 World Cup was on. The Spanish World, the World Cup in Spain was on. I was Spain '82. And I always remember I had my Liverpool shirt, and it was the similar one, it was the yellow one with a red pinstripe on it, And I had my shorts on. I was only about 22. And I thought to myself, I thought I looked great. I walked into a bar and nobody knew who I was, who Liverpool were. They only knew Liverpool for the Beatles. They didn't know anything about football, soccer. What's that? They didn't have a clue. Now, it's brilliant going to the States now because people get soccer, don't they? Mm-hmm. How did that happen?
I don't know. Just many years. It's this podcast. We're teaching everybody. No, it's been brilliant. Yeah, I mean the club itself, Liverpool. You know, the way they have restructured the official Liverpool supporters clubs. You know, on a global scale, making it more structured on how to become an official part of the club, setting the guidelines, and obviously the success in the last 5 years has helped that as well. Um, but you're right. Just the knowledge base of the fans here in the United States for football in general, but also the passion for Liverpool in the last 5 years, it's been immeasurable for sure.
I know. Well, I'd like to my club to be, you know, I know don't the club would never endorse my business in any phase or form, and I do liaise along with their safety officers and people and that. Although I lived and worked close to the club, I've never had a ticket off the club. I've never been invited to anything at the club. I don't even get recognised, you know. So although my club's outside and I run a business in that area, and Liverpool, without Liverpool, that area would be absolutely desolate. Mm-hmm. But I don't get any. People say to me, "Oh, you must be in the know there." You don't get anything. You don't get any. I couldn't go and ask the club for a ticket because the answer would be no. No chance. You got no chance whatsoever. And I would love to be. I would love. Do you know what? I'll tell you a story. We went to see Liverpool in Boston the first time we went to Fenway Studio. I don't want to bore you, but this is a true story. You know how you really nearly missed something? At the time, a pal of mine from New Jersey, Jimmy, his son was working for FSG, but he was in charge of the marketing business for them. He marketed they've got a hockey team or ice hockey team or something like that. But he was working for he'd moved from the New York Sharks or something like that, and he went to work for FSG. He worked for the Boston Red Sox in some capacity. Good job, because he knew it. He said, "I've got a mate of mine." He said he's moving to America. He's moving to England, to London. He said he's going to be looking after some of the interest there. He said he is there. He said, "I'll go and bring him over." He said, "Billy, come over." So here's Billy Hogan coming over to walk towards me for me to be introduced to him. He said, because he might pop in the pub to have a drink with you. Well, he's just walking over and he's just about 10 yards away from me. And who walks out behind him? John Henry. "Billy, come here." So he stops and walks round. And that was me closest, because I thought if I would have been introduced to him, I may have been able to get a foothold in somewhere, but that was my one shot and I lost it. And his mate son's now moved on to bigger and better things in that business. But I nearly come close.
Well, I've seen some legends have some pints at your place, you know, David Faircloth, Alec Kennedy. So it's not like you're not totally incognito from the people at Liverpool.
I mean, Alan, I play football with Alan. Alan got me into playing walking football. He said to me, "You should be playing walking football with us. You know, get on your." I went, "Yeah." I said, "I can't play football. I'm too old." He went, "No, you're not. Come." So anyway, before the lockdown, I was been there for nearly, well, I've been there since April. Went April last year, 2019, and was playing till lockdown. So nearly 12 months. And Alan comes over and he supports, he plays. He's brilliant. He really is great. And and he's just one of the lads. That's all he is. He really is one of the lads. And he comes to mind, you know, maybe after every game, just to have a few pints. And he sets photographs. He gets photographs. He gets people asking him questions, and he loves it. And he's just that sort of guy. He really is a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, we had him here in Austin. We hosted him in Austin, and he put on a great show, showed us all his medals that he's won, and he likes to have a pint and just have a laugh, you know.
If I'd have known if you know what, if I'd have known he'd been over there in Austin, I would have come over. I would have gone on the trip with him. I wouldn't have told him, but I would have got on a flight with him. Mind you, he'd probably be in business class. But no, he'd probably be in the same class as me. No, but I would have gone that because I've said to Ken. I mean, I know there's a lot of fan zones and fan meetings over there. So I'd love to come over and go to one of them. Ken's invited me to Boston, but the way social distancing is and the way we are, I think this year's been written off, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to come back home in May for the last match of the season, and obviously for the parade and that, that's all up. Yeah, we know how that went. I mean, again, going back to like, it's pretty sad how this year's kind of, in the last 3-4 months, how it's kind of gone to crap, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just has, and I'm glad the footy's back, even though it's weird watching with no fans. I actually, I don't even look at the stadium. I just watch the pitch now and the players, instead of, how you would look up and just see all the fans kind of going at it. I just look down and just kind of try to not.
Yeah. When you're watching it, do you have it with the crowd noise on?
Yeah, I've tried it with both.
I like it with the crowd noise on because then I don't look at the crowd. I don't look at the state. I just look at the pitch like you do.
Yeah.
I've just been on the channel before. I watched the Leicester match and I couldn't get the crowd noise on it. It was just and there was no atmosphere. It was just a dead match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And of course Chelsea battered Leicester. I thought Leicester folded. See, like Sheffield United, they folded. I wanted Leicester to get into the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the team to watch next season, Wolves.
Agree.
Wolves.
And
if we're not at it, and if we don't compete and buy the players that he needs to strengthen the squad, I know he's after Toure. I know for a fact that he loves him, doesn't he? But then everyone's, because he's such a brilliant impact player, he's going to go. I think he's going to be I watched him when he played for Middlesbrough, and he was so fast. The only trouble was he couldn't run with the ball. He couldn't kick the ball. Now he seems to be the finished article.
Yeah, but I mean, Wolves don't need to sell. That's the thing.
I know.
And by the way, Wolves fans are fantastic. They are. 2 years ago, I was actually at the Arkles and Sandon, and Sandon is usually basically Liverpool fans, but there was like 10 Wolves fans in there, and then I nipped over to your gaff, and they're really down to earth, and
really nice.
Yeah, they are.
They've got a Planet Wolves, not the owners. They're as rich as well. Obviously, no one's as apart from we could talk about financing the game. Their owner is extremely rich, and I mean billionaire rich, right? They're probably the richest, second rich. They're probably behind. Their owner's got more money than Abramovich, right? They reckon they've got a plan there that they reckon that they'll be in the top 5. They'll be a top 4 team for a long time to come. Now, obviously, he's there a little bit earlier than he thought he was going to be. And you know what? They could win the Europa League. They could have United, and they're the only 2 teams in the tournament. You know what I mean? So they could, and they are great fans and they're passionate fans. They've been down the dumps for so long, and like all the Midlanders, they're really nice people. You know what I mean? They aren't really, really nice. So this is why I say, and I'll lead on to another thing in a minute. This is why I say, if we don't strengthen our squad, with quality, internationals, and I thought Werner was a, but Klopp, I say this, we have to trust Jurgen. There's obviously a reason why he didn't get Werner, but who to say now? He will have a list of players who he wants, and the club will buy them for them. Right? There's no doubt about that. They won't turn around and say, no, you can't have them, because Klopp's delivered, so they will deliver to him. But what we have got to be worried about in the future is Newcastle, because of the Saudis by Newcastle, and what they say, all the millionaires live in Dubai, All the billionaires live in Abu Dhabi, but all the trillionaires live in Saudi. So I know the fair play, and I really don't know how that works. If Newcastle get bought out by the Saudis, right, they're only going to go one place, and that's straight up there. Which leads me to, that's when I really do think there'll be a European league. I think there'll be a European league within the next 5 years. Really? You think so? I think the rich clubs will realise, like they've done, like Madrid and Barcelona done in Spain, they get 90% of the money, and then 10% goes between the rest of us, or they get 80% of the television money, and 20% drops down to the others. You know what I mean? Italy works in a similar way, right? I think personally there will be, because once we get back to some sort of normality, I think I think that's going to be. I don't know how it will work. I don't know how it will work, but there will be a Super League, and all the superpowers will be in that league. Well, money talks, Of course, it always does. And we all would. Well, I remember speaking to the Chelsea fans 10 years ago when I first come back to the Arkles, and I spoke to them, and I said, "You've got no history, have you, really?" I said, but he said, "Yeah." He said, "But we're winning it. We've got backing now. We're not in the first division. We're a proper team. You're just a team who've got history." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? That's what I play. We've got history, but I would love it. And that's when we go through a real bad time. I would love a rich billionaire Russian to buy Liverpool out and make us a team and buy us it. And look at the success that Chelsea's had in the last 10 years. Look at the success City's bought. It's only being bought. And they, give City the due. Their owners said they were going to make them the best team in Europe, within 10 years. And they have. They basically have. And now that shows you what money can do. And they've bought a team in America. They've bought a team in India. They've bought a team in Australia. They've got a team in I think they've got a team in the Russian league, or another European league. So they are doing what they said they would do. Well, that's how they put their little money bags all around. We'll see. What is it? July 9th is the hearing. Yeah, I think that will get pushed back. They've had the hearing. They're just waiting for the decision. Yeah. And I will guarantee you now. I'll state my claim now. City will be in the Champions League next. Oh yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt whatsoever. They will be in the Champions League. And if they're not in it, I'll be very, very surprised. Yeah, I'm the same with you, Paul. I either it's going to be like some kind of like suspended sentence, but I don't see them not being in the Champions League. I just don't. It's just, again, money talks. Hey? Especially if they win it. Especially if they win it, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, defo. Yeah. All right, Paul. I want to ask you about like some of your. I know you told us the story about the two lads, the Geordies, but what are some of your like favourite memories from the Arkles? I'll tell you, one of the best nights I ever had in there was when we played Dortmund. When we beat them in the European. What happened is that the pub was absolutely chock-a-block. The pub was full of Dortmund fans. They were the German fans are the best fans in the world. They are the most respectful, they're so much like us. They're really, 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 really nice people. It was rammed. So after load of the German fans who come without tickets, right? Normally I let all the fans go out and they can't come back in. Well, come kick-off time, I'm wondering why all these fans, like about 200 of them, aren't going anywhere. And I put on the mic and said, "You've got to go on the ground now." And guy came over who's with a lot of them. He said, "We haven't got tickets. You're not going to throw us out, are you?" And I went, "No, I'm not going to throw you out." Anyway, I went the match. I didn't get the match. I missed the first 20 minutes. We were already 2-0 down. I went and got in. I think it was 2-0 down. And then we went to 3-1. I arrived when it was 3-1 or 2-1 or something like that in a seat. And that was, the atmosphere was unbelievable. It was one of the best nights I've ever had. You know, the Barcelona game was unbelievable, but this was one of the best nights I've ever had. And then when I got back to the pub, there's all the Dortmund fans, right, dancing and singing with the Liverpool fans at the final whistle. They're all dancing. They're not fighting. They're not singing. They're dancing, singing, drinking, having a brilliant time. And we've just beaten them, right, with a last-minute goal, right? They're on the knees and everything. And I come back and thought, when I saw them all in the window, I went, oh, my God, what are we going to get here? It's going to be murder. And brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was one of the best times. Another time was when we played Newcastle. You know, when we thought we were going to win the league in 2014, and I come downstairs and there must have been 100,000 people in Liverpool that day, and they were all in. 50,000 of them must have been in the ground, and 50,000 was outside the ground, and they were looking for somewhere to go. So I'm going. My mate's come from Norway, and he can't get a ticket. So I've got him one ticket for his son. And he said, I'm not going, I can't go. I comes downstairs to go to the match. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. There was that many people in the pub. So I went over to my mate. I said, listen, I can't go this game. I said, I can't leave this pub. There's too many people in here. Would you? I said, yeah, you go with your lads. There's my ticket. So I gave him my ticket. He, by the way, paid £400 for the ticket for his son. So I just give him my ticket. I said, I don't want to worry off it. Just take your ticket, you go, because I can't go. He come back and we beat Newcastle. We didn't win the league. We come second. But he said to me, Paul, he said, I know I've known you a long time. And I've known this lad since I first met the Arkles when he was a young lad. I went to his 50th birthday party in Norway last year, Henrik. And he said, that meant more to me, what you did there, than anything I've ever had in here. Or anything, he said, this is a top of the match and you give it up to give it to me. And I said, listen, they only give it to you because I couldn't go to the game. He said, no, it was the principle of it. And I went, okay, thanks very much. Yeah, but I've made friends from all over the world. I've got Australian guys who Dave from Sydney, who texts me all the time. Another guy from Melbourne, he texts me. Obviously, Steve texts me all the time, and Chris Patton. All these lads from all of the lads who I met 5 years ago in the States still contact me. Efren and Deb, and they've all been except Chris Patton, except Chris. But I think he's from I'm not sure, but he was at the I think he was at the LA game when we had it. I don't know whether you were there, Steve, when we went. Whether you were at that game when we played Chelsea. I think we beat us 1-0 in the pre. I think it was in San Francisco. It was San Francisco.
No, San Francisco. We had AC Milan.
AC Milan.
Watched that game and yeah.
But I've seen them play in Chelsea, and it was Chelsea play because we went to this car park, and he had I don't know, you call them tailgates, don't you? He had this massive barbecue going, and there must have been 100 people in it. Me and Debbie had a fantastic time, and he still texts me now. How's things going? He said, Paul, can you send me some echoes? I went, yeah, okay, send you some echoes. He said, I just want to get over to see a game. Unfortunately, he hasn't been yet, but I think he's saving up to come to a game because it's easy getting over here, but it's getting tickets in it.
Yeah.
Yourselves, it's getting tickets. That's the hardest part now of getting tickets.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I've been on 3 trips with Ken, and it's definitely worth it as he's structured those trips. But yeah, as the fan base grows and as the popularity of of this team, especially now, you can't see the tickets getting any easier to to come by. That's for sure.
No, well, there'll be more tickets when they extend the extend the Anfield Road next year. They put another 9,000. I think it's another 9,000 seats in there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a bit. You'll find there'll be some more hospitality tickets, but you're still paying hospitality prices. But you know what? If you're going to come over to travel over, you want to do it. You want to do it right. You want to get it, but you want to be in the cop, don't you? You want to be in you don't want to. Hospitality seats are okay, but you want to be in the cop. You want to get the atmosphere. Now, I have a couple of tickets in the cop. My son's got, and we always, anyone comes over, we always tend to, let them have them if they need them, not all the time, but if they're available, because I have people pick the tickets up all the time. But that's, they want to be in the cop, and they come back and they go, "Oh, Paul, what a fantastic view, what a fantastic experience." And it is fantastic. It's normal for me, you know what I mean? But to be in the cop, they just love it. You know what I mean? You've been in the cop, haven't you, Steve?
Yep, I have.
There's that many people that just, and it's just a unique feeling there. The atmosphere where they sing and walk on, and and it's like one of them that walk on. It's like a song that you never get sick of hearing, do you? You never get put the ears on the back. Every time I hear that song, put it on. I put it on every match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's like we were talking with George Sefton. It must be amazing to be able to play that, and he's been doing it since '71. Like he's the man. He's the man that plays it every single home match. That's just got to hit you, right here.
Yeah.
Like
I've met him. I've met him a couple of times. Not socially. I've never, I've been around in his company where he's been. I don't really know George Sefton at all. But he is the voice of Anfield, and he does a great job. I know he's getting old. He's getting older now, but he's got a job till he dies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Long may it be long.
That's right. Hey, Paul, speaking of songs, any plans to make another Christmas album?
Oh boy, what's this one about?
Come on.
This is not what I'm like. I was cleaning out one of me rooms, and I found out a box of some in October last year, and I was going around giving them out to my staff for the Christmas present. Got a special present. Said, "Paul, when did you do this? When did you do this Christmas CD?" I said, "Didn't you know that I was an artist?"
I play it every Christmas.
See, something on Christmas, something that you never hear people say. Put Paul Tremarco's Christmas CD on.
I always play that one, and then after that, I go and play the classics. So
yeah. Put it on Christmas Day. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's right.
The best. That's the only one I'm singing in tune. But you know what? I raised about £5,000 for a charity that, and I did it. I did one about 7 years ago. 7 or 8 years, maybe longer than that. 10 years ago, I did my first one. It only came out because I used to do a karaoke in the pub, and I'd say on the posters, you might even hear Paul sing a song off his album. Right? So all the customers started saying, "Paul, where's this album? Where's this album?" So then I thought, my mate said to me, "Listen, my daughter's just recorded an album and a song at a recording studio. Why don't you go and do an album? Just make it up and sell them in the pub and give the money to charity." So I said, "What a great idea." So we did. I got a friend of mine I paid about a couple of £100 to go to a studio for the day. I recorded a load of songs. I haven't got the CD. I don't even know where the CDs are now. But we got 1,000 made. We charge five. We charge a £5 each for them.
Steve's got 100 of them.
This is not the Christmas song. This is another one. And it's, even the one Day in Our Lives, that's in on it as well. And we gave the money to Macmillan, the local cancer charity, Macmillan, and the Jamie Carragher Foundation.
Nice.
We gave them 15. I think we gave them about 1,500 quid. And 50. I think we raised about £3,000 from it, and we gave them £1,500 each to Jamie Carragher's foundation, which I raised. I did raise a lot of money for that, but I only raise money now. We're only allowed to raise money for the Macmillan Cancer Care. We raise a lot of money for them as well now. That's because the company sponsor them, so we're not allowed to go around and donate maybe to other charities. So we just give it to them. Mm-hmm. So we probably raised about £2,000 to £5,000. Probably raised about £20,000 in the last. But in the time of being the Arkles, probably raised easy 20,000 for different causes and different charities. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of money, but it's not. But you know, it's just to give something back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I love about, like, you know, many of the Liverpool businesses. You know, they help the charities. You know, the food banks. A lot of businesses help the food banks, which that's what you should do anyway. You know, I think it's a fantastic way to help the community. And that's one thing I love about Liverpool is just the people. Mm-hmm. You know, they help one another. Even if you're not from Liverpool, they'll help you out if they can. You know,
I had some Liverpool fans in, and they were from London. Some friends of mine, they're from London, and he came to Liverpool, and he turned around and he said that he lived in Kent and I met him on holiday. And he come to Liverpool, and they said to him, "Why are you going to Liverpool?" And this is about 15 years ago. So he said, "Why are you going to Liverpool?" He said, "I'm going to Liverpool because it's the best place in the world." He said, "It's the best atmosphere, the nicest people. Wherever you go, you know, we don't care what your name is. We never turn you away," as the songs from the Ferry Across the Mersey say. And that's true. Mm-hmm. If you walk in, the amount of people have walked in my pub, haven't got a clue where they are, don't know anything about the city, apprehensive about where they're going to be. I just said to him, I reassured them, I said, "Listen, anything you need to know, anything you want to know, he said, well, we've been told about this pub, we're walking around." I said, "Let me just say, first and foremost, you are quite safe in Liverpool. Nobody's going to try and rob you. No one's going to try and con you. No one's going to try and scam you, right? Even the taxi drivers won't scam you. So just, you know, wherever you want to go, tell me if you want to go anywhere or where you want to be, and I'll tell you where to go." And they said to me, you know, he said, that's what I love about Liverpool, because people are so friendly. And, you know, the Cockneys come down, and they said, that's the difference. You come to Liverpool, even if you're on your own, he said, you're never on your own. Someone will always talk to you and not want to beat you up or steal you off you or rob you. Like the stereo say, "Here's the Scousers, we're going to rob it," because they don't. They just don't do it. They look after the people. You know, you're a Scouser born and bred yourself. So, you know, I think, and nobody, and you talk about racism and everything else in sport, nobody gets sung about. No fans get sung about the way Liverpool fans do. Mm-hmm. You know, we pay your benefits. Sign on, sign on. You know, all these, you've heard all them songs.
Yeah.
And I hear them, I get sung in my face. The Chelsea fans sing them all the time. But you know what? It is an insult. It is an insult to me. But I take it. I just take it on the chin, and we take it on the chin as Scousers. You know, if you're you're driving to Liverpool, you make sure you keep hold of your hub. You don't lose your wheels or your hubcaps or whatever it may be. You know, and when you come to Liverpool, you turn around and go, "Is this what it's about?" The city's vibrant, fantastic city centre, beautiful restaurants, lovely pubs, fantastic dockland, magnificent museums, art galleries, beautiful buildings, architecture, a lovely station, a nice little airport. It's I'm I'm a proud Scouser, and I can't take that. You can't take that away from me, can you? Although I'm living in it now. I'm in the dark side now. Debbie's got me in the dark side. Educate me, she says.
Are you watching too much telly?
Sorry.
Are you watching? Yeah, are you watching that's the thing too. Like I never used to watch Netflix or anything like that. Now I'm watching like German shows and stuff like that. A lot of documentaries, which is good, But yeah, again, it's just it's a weird time,
Mate said to me, "Watch Ray Donovan." So I said, "Oh yeah, okay." I put Ray Donovan on. I didn't know there was 7 series of 12 episodes. Right? I'm up to series. I'm up to series 6, and I'm on. I think it's 8th show or something like that of 12. Then I'm on to the 7th. Was the last one. I thought to myself, I've been watching. I try to watch one whenever I can. You know what I mean? I don't watch so much television. I only watch telly at night time. In my job, I don't get much time to watch it. You know what I mean? And if there's no football on, then I'll watch it. Because I've had nothing else to do for the last 3 months. Now that I'm back to work, I'll probably won't even watch any. I was even getting the paper and reading the paper from cover to cover for a couple of hours. I never do that. But once I'm back to work, I won't do it again because I just don't have the time. I think weird.
I think the only good thing I would say about this pandemic is like families have been a bit closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they talked more, than probably what I ever would, to me sister back home and me auntie and all that. You just talk more, and especially being in the same household as well. I guess you have to talk to them.
Well, I was, my fiance, Deb, I was getting under their feet. She said to me, "Do you ever do anything?" Well, not if I can help it. She said, "You can really make the day go by, don't you, without doing anything?" I went, "Oh yes, yes." Because when I'm working, my mind's going 24/7. The pub's always open. Anything can happen at any time. So when you come home and relax and you've got no worry about anything, it's amazing. The trouble is, Debbie wanted me to be. Wish that I was more handy around the house. I wish you could paint or you could make wardrobes or cut plants or cut trees and things like that. I said, "No, I can't do that."
Just put your Crimbo album on.
Yeah. I've just sold you things you never hear people say. Put Paul's CD on. I have it in my car, permanently in my car. So anyone gets in the car, put it on.
Yeah, because, lock the door.
Yeah, I lock the doors. And he goes to me, "Paul, these are Christmas songs. What have you got them on for?" And then I go, "That sounds like you."
I need to hear it now.
I'll bring it over to the next time we do a podcast in person. We'll have Christmas in July after the season ends.
Yeah, why not? So what does the future hold for the Arkles? I know you said you're going back to work, but obviously, we have a little...
I don't, to be honest with you, I really don't know. We're not going to be open for football matches. That's a shame because we can't social distance, and I don't like half measures. And if you can only get 70 people in your pub because they've all got to sit at a table and they've all got a queue or book a table, whatever, for drinks. To me, that is not that's not socialising properly. And if you've got a football match in, you've got to put, you don't want if you put you can't put no music on. You can't put the television on volume because that means people shout, and when you shout, you spray droplets out. So personally, I don't know. It's going to be strange Liverpool next game is on Wednesday night. We open on Monday, and I don't think I'll be open Wednesday night because, to be honest with you, I couldn't control the amount of people who want to be in Anfield to watch a Liverpool game because we all want to celebrate and all want to party. So if my pub gets swamped, then I have to look at the safety of not just myself, my staff, and my customers. So as a company, I think they may decide to close, but we definitely close the home games because it's just not going to be viable because you could not control. You know what I mean? You couldn't control it. If you've got, I don't know, 500 people outside looking for 70 places, it's a recipe for disaster. So I don't know. I don't make them decisions. I work for a company, for Green King, and they will obviously ultimately decide. But I know the paramount importance is the safety of the staff and the customers. You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. And I always say this about playing behind closed doors. And if and I said it when we closed our pubs down. But by closing down, if it saves one person's life, then it's been worth it.
Oh yeah.
Because no business is worth the fact of anyone losing their life. And no doubt people who've lost people to this horrible virus. You couldn't make up. If someone would have told you this 12 months ago, if you watched that film, Contagion, right? Watch that. You've watched it. You've seen it. That was made in 2011.
Yeah.
And you look at if you watched it in 2011 and it wasn't very successful, people just thought it was like science fiction. And now it's exactly what's happened. It's exactly what's happened. And as I've said to numerous people, one thing for certain now, you don't have to have any atomic bombs anymore, do you? You don't need an atomic bomb. Put one of them out, and we'll all be gone. And that's the thing, isn't it?
A scary world we live in.
It's a scary world we live. It's a scary world we live in.
But at least we won the league.
Get back to normal.
At least we won the league finally.
Yeah, and we can sing it, couldn't we? We're going to win the league.
Oh.
We're going to win the league, and now you're going to believe us.
Well, there was a point, all the null and voiders out there, like from rival fans were just. Now I want to say
fans and City fans and Everton fans and Tottenham fans and believe me, nobody wants us to win the league.
I know.
Last season it was funny because there's a fellow from there was a fellow from the Times and he was reporting on the Times. I was doing something with them and he said to me, I said, "Don't you want Liverpool to win?" He went, "Do you know what?" He said, "I'm a Man United fan." I said, "I know you're a Man United fan, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I never realised how many people, till after 2014, right after 2014 till then, how many people, nobody wanted Liverpool to win the league." And I went, "You're joking." I thought everyone did. He said, "No, nobody wants you to win the league." And that's true. I didn't know it. Because when I'm in my pub and I get all the fans round, and and they're all saying, "Well, we hope you win the league" and everything else. Right? And it's the true opinion was nobody wanted us to win the league. The only people who wanted to win the league was us, and now we have.
Well, I think it's because they know, like, if we've won this year, we're going to challenge again and again and again. It's that they just hope we don't get like we did in the 80s. And just keep winning and winning and winning. It's just, Sodom. I could care less. The only people that want Liverpool to win are Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
And that's all we care about, So I'm just well chuffed and again, until I see Jordan lift that trophy, I'm still going to be going, is this real?
I know. Can't believe it. And what a season Jordan's had.
Oh man, best captain. Captain.
And he's been through the lot, and no one deserves a trophy more than him. When he lifted the European Cup last season.
Oh,
we got the Super Cup, and then we won the league. I was in Qatar for the final of that. I went to the Super Cup and all that. I wasn't going to miss them, and And now to see him lift up the Premier League, and all in one calendar year, by the way, all in one calendar year. First teams to ever to all the 4 trophies. So as soon as we get that trophy, because the final is not till the final isn't until August the 7th, isn't it? It starts August the 7th to August the 15th or something. The Champions League, or the 23rd. So we'll be presented with our trophy. So we could basically get our photograph taken, have our team photo with all 4 trophies.
I know.
And I'm sure Klopp will.
he'll start crying again, and then we'll all start crying.
Yeah, well, the City and United have avoided themselves today in the FA Cup, haven't they? So City are playing
Arsenal.
City are playing
Arsenal, and it's United, Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. So that's going to be interesting. You know, two finals in Wembley, right, with no fans. So why did he play them? Could have been played anywhere, couldn't he? And then the final, because there's no money revenue for it. So the games could be played anywhere. They played them at that training ground where they play. You know what I mean? Because there's no fans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a weird choice, that, you know, but I guess they want to try and keep some kind of normalcy to it, but we're not in it, so who cares?
I know. But you know what? By August, they might allow...
Null and void it.
What?
Null and void it.
Yeah.
That's what I find funny, you know. Like City fans and all did the null and void. You know, you don't hear them going null and void the Champions League or the FA Cup. No. Because they have a chance to win it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
But, Paul, this has been fantastic. I really appreciate you coming on and telling your stories and stuff.
Only glad that I could.
And, you know, when all this stuff gets kind of back to, you know, normal, I hope you come and visit us in Austin. Be great.
I need to Texas. I've never been to Texas. I'd love to come to Texas.
Great barbecue.
We'd have a good time.
Oh man, yeah.
You know, the best thing about going anywhere, if you go somewhere and you know someone in the home grounds, you're not, because you know yourself. You go to a hotel, you turn left, you walk down the wrong street, you don't know what you've missed. But when you know you've got someone who can take you around or show you where to go and what to do, that's the best feeling in the world. And you see, and you enjoy more, and you get to meet people, don't you? And you make friends, and you have a great time, and it's different. And you live the way you live, and you go in the local pubs where they go. You know what I mean? And I love all that. That's part of the part of my job that I love to, because I love socialising. I'm not a big drinker. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a massive drinker, but I like socialising with people, and I like to meet interesting people. We're from all cultures. Yeah, no matter where they're from, whatever. It's nice to spread the word of Liverpool Football Club. And believe me, there's well over 20 million Liverpool fans in America. You know.
Yeah, it's just growing. It's just growing and growing. And there's probably going to be another 5 mil. You know, because we won the league.
Yeah.
You know, that's great. That's great. The more the merrier for me. You know, that's why, like, I don't care. It's a global thing now. You know,
and they, you know what, it's FSG have bought. You know, they bought the club. They bought the club at the right time. They knew they knew that it was a billion pound business. Well, they didn't realise, because when they bought it, you know, we were nearly going out of big bank. That's one thing my friend's son told me those years ago when they bought us. He said they didn't realise how much of a global brand we were, and we generate more money than all their other foundation, all their other sporting franchise they've got. We generate more money than all of them put together. You know, we are the cash cow. But they can't give us more money than they give the Boston Red Sox. But he delivered to Boston, didn't he? When he bought Boston, he said,
same thing.
He said, and they're built on the same principles, and you have to buy into it. But in this day and age, you know, you have to. Sometimes you have to spend a little bit more to get more back.
You know, they're definitely we're lucky to have them as ownership group. That's for sure. So, Paul,
They're
it's
very,
always good to see
very
you.
good. They're a very well-run company, aren't they, Steve?
Yes, sir. You know, you and I, you know, message almost on a daily basis, but it's always good to see your face. And
Yeah.
well, we'll get together soon one day.
Thanks for inviting me. Really been a pleasure.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. And you know, hopefully when I do get back home, I'll come in for a few pints.
Make sure you do.
Oh, I definitely will. I like my pints.
I like serving as well.
All right.
Well,
Cheers,
you know,
Paul.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thanks very much, mate. Have a good rest of your night.
It's a pleasure. You never walk alone.
Never walk
You
alone.
too. Cheers, mate.